evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of ScoreBoard here on ACTN. We are on every Tuesday evening from between the hours of 8 and 9, where we bring you something relevant in sports in Trinidad and Tobago. And today, actually tonight, we have a very interesting show on, and you're going to be really, really amazed with what we are going to be discussing here tonight with some of the young people. You know, we tend to always hear the negative side of young people in Trinidad and Tobago, but we have some young men here who really represent Trinidad and Tobago, flying the flag high and doing wonderful things in this country in that sport. But before we get into that, let me just first of all say a big thank you to all the persons who attended the All-Star match yesterday, the North All-Star versus the South All-Star game at the Maniramjan Stadium. We want to say a big, on behalf of Field of Dreams, we want to say a big thank you. Thank you very much for your support. We had some hiccups. Yes, we did. Saturday was not what we expected. We know we have a lot of work to do for the Saturday event, but we know that the Sunday event is well taken care of with just some areas to be tightened. We want to thanks to all the sponsors, everyone who came on board to assist us. Big respect to the North coach, Mr. Daniel, a very patient individual, stood with us from day one, and we appreciate all that the effort that was put out by Mr. Daniel and the members of the North team. At the end, the South team won the game on penalty kicks. Congrats to Coach Cooper and his staff. Again, to Mr. William Wallace, the SSLFL president, and all who give us the opportunity to stage this event. We got the rights from the secondary schools for the next 3 years. So football supporters, look out for bigger and better things. There is breaking news coming now soon. With an event that is going to be happening. So stay tuned. We'll let you know in due season. Well, as I said, we're going to be talking to some very interesting people here tonight. And they are in the sport of mixed martial arts. And they hail from the South Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts right here in Maribela. You must have seen them some time back on ACTN. But since then to now, things have improved tremendously for them. A lot of titles were won, and a lot of new members came on board, and the club is really growing leaps and bounds. So let me take this opportunity to introduce Kerry Grant, the head sensei for the organization. The Grant, is always a pleasure to have you in our company.
Good night. Thank you again, man.
And we have the two champions. We have Kadeen Hope and Jeffrey Rangel. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure. And again, before we start, let me say congratulations on your effort. But Kerry, let me start with you first. Since the last interview conducted with you all, I know that you all changed location, and you all have grown tremendously. Let's, in a nutshell, let's do a quick review on 2017 with your organization.
Well, 2017, we had a lot of challenges, you know, and from the get-go, it was kind of prophesied that this year would be a year of challenges for us, and it was indeed so. But being the Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts, and our motto is that we are not what guys?
Ordinary people.
We are not ordinary people, and we have to believe in ourselves that we can overcome anything that comes our way. And we did just that. We had an instance where we had to vacate our facility after spending so much time, effort, money to develop the facility into a professional mixed martial arts facility, and on short notice we had to end up leaving there, and no fault of ours, and we found a place literally about 5 or 6 buildings down the street, and we've been there. That's in Pamela's Mall, Maribela, all right, opposite Super Farm. And since being there, God has been good to us. Again, yes, challenges again structurally and so forth with the building, but we were able to pull together and rise above the occasion and make it work, and still continue to be consistent in our training and consistent in developing new athletes. This year was a great year in terms of tournaments for us, winnings. We competed in about 3 or 4 tournaments this year, and I think overall we only had must be 2 or 3 losses for the amount of tournaments. So we have had an excellent 2017. And we know 2018 is just going to be even more phenomenal for us.
What are some of the major accomplishments for 2017?
2017, first of all, for me, one of the major accomplishments is being able to bring in new youths. Having, reaching out to the youths around and about the vicinity of the dojo and the community, that is our accomplishment in itself to help these youths. And getting these guys off the streets, doing negative things and into channeling their energies in a more positive manner. People may say mixed martial arts, but it's violence. No, it's not just being able to strike and kick. People need to understand that when we train you or we coach you, there is also life skills involved. So I always have one-on-one or even group talks with these guys, and which is part of my favorite thing to do in the dojo. They will say, yes, Sensei talks a lot. But I always sit down there and I give them advice because I have lived life and I have had experiences, and where I can help these guys be more assertive, be more positive, be more genuine, and be more successful in life. These to me are the rewards, or this is what's more fulfilling for me, more than just they going out there and winning titles, because at the end of the day they still have to live in this world. So we have these guys, they came in, new guys, and you're all going to meet them, Trinidad and Tobago, and these guys went out and competed for the first time this year. We had about 4 or 5 new guys competing first time, and they all won their fights. So that was a very, rewarding thing for me. Moving on down to the latter part of 2017, we have Kadeen Hope and we have Jeffrey Ranghill. Kadeen, for the longest while, he has been trying to win a title or get a title shot because he's on a win streak. He has never lost since starting to compete over 2 years now. Kadeen is on a 5-win streak. And there are certain guys that, have been dodging him. Claim to be the best, but they've been dodging him and don't want to give him a title shot. And Kadeen got the opportunity to fight in a heavier weight class. He fights at 125 Trinidad and Tobago. He's a very light guy. And on short notice, because my 135 champion that was supposed to fight this guy from Canada, he got injured, a really bad groin injury. And Kadeen stepped up to the plate, and being the coach that I am, I encouraged him. I said, listen, Kadeen, you can go out there and you can put on the mask. I will put you on a special diet. You're going to gain that weight. And you're going to go out there and beat this guy. He may be bigger than you, but it's not about the size. We are the Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts, and we are not ordinary people. And we got to show these people that we live that, and we believe it. And Kadeen went out there. He trained. He stuck to his diet. He trained religiously every day. Kadeen went out there and won his fight, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't just win it. He knocked out his opponent. So that was, fighting a bigger guy, when you see the footage, you're going to be like, wow, So that was impressive in itself. And it goes to show the type of commitment, the type of conditioning that goes on in the Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts. It's more than just being able to throw a punch, being able to throw a kick. It is about believing in yourself, getting these youths to believe I can accomplish something that people say I cannot do, or I might in myself think or feel I cannot do. But as a coach, for me, that's more rewarding, where I can see these guys get to that point where they can say, I can, and not I can't. And I did, and not I should have. And that is the rewarding thing for me. And then we had Jeffrey this year as well, went out there. Jeffrey as well is on a win streak. Went out there and he defeated his opponent in the first round. So, it was a phenomenal year. For us, we have other youngsters that you always see will be interviewed as well later on in the program. And I just believe that 2018, we will go out there and do wonders again for the year and continue doing what we do. The Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts, we are by no means a play-around club. I am very serious. I take what I do seriously. And we run our club like a family, like I tell people at the end of the day. I'm the head of the home, and I make sure that the boys are in line, make sure the young women that train with us are in line.
A single parent.
And if you want to call it that. Yeah. But we do what is necessary and we get the job done.
In the sense of numbers, what sort of numbers you acquired over the year?
Since we have started, if I had to put a figure to the amount of people that have passed through or still with the Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts, it's a lot.
Okay.
Because we have people that come in and train with us for a few months and then they leave depending on where they are. We also have international guys that come in from different parts of the world to just train with the Southern Warriors, and then they have to go back home. But the experiences that they have gained as there's always something positive, something that adds value to their lives or value to the way they train. You know, so in terms of numbers, currently right now we do have a big following. I would probably say we probably 50, 60 odd guys that train with us, you know, and it will continue to grow from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kadeem, you were a former volleyball player representing Trinidad and Tobago. Now you switched to mixed martial arts. How did the switch came about?
Well, basically, I just wanted to try something new, you know, and from seeing my brother in judo and stuff like that and thing, and then afterwards he came across the sense of Kerrigan. I kind of like get a liking to what he doing, and I said I wanted to try it. So from since then till now, I caught myself in Southern Warrior. I caught myself training, and from there I just keep it. I don't really participate in the volleyball so much because I achieved so much in MMA that, you know, it has my passion now. I don't no longer has the amount of passion I have for MMA for volleyball. But I'm still doing the volleyball, but I'm more into the MMA now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but getting into mixed martial arts, first of all, your mind have to be a certain way because you have to make up your mind that in this sport, any mistake, any slip, you can get injured. You know, you could lose a fight. You know, you could suffer, you know, injuries. How do you how did you prepare yourself? I'm taking you back to actually the first time you ever go into the ring. I mean, because your training is okay, right? Because you know that your training partner is not going to hurt you. There's no first place or second place, right? So the training is, you know, is not competitive. But take me back to that first time when you enter the ring, when you realize that, hey, this is for real.
Um, that's recently I was sitting down on YouTube home, right? And I was like literally sitting and watching over my first fight ever since I entered the cage until now, right? So my first time entering the cage, it was like, I was like wondering like what I really get myself into. I wasn't expecting to actually, you know, to get myself into actual fight because I was just training. I didn't even know. I never used to ask the questions since when I got fight, you know. So it's just like it just happened. So it just happened, and I just for some reason I didn't even disagree to it, to the fact that, you know, accepting a fight. I just said yes, and I went and keep training. And, you know, from there, the actual feeling being in a cage is completely different to when you're training amongst, you know, your friend, your bodies and stuff in training. Being in the cage is something that it's frightening. I would say it's frightening, but at the end of the day, this you're there at the moment, you had to overcome it and, you know, achieve where you come for.
But how do you prepare yourself when you enter the cage?
I how to prepare myself. It's just I just be so calm, to be honest. It's just something about me. I doesn't let anything bother me because at the end of the day, I don't believe, you know what, I gonna come out on top. I would win. I just tell myself that I gonna win. So
that's what I was getting to
yeah,
from the beginning of the question, because I think everything starts within your mind. Right? If your mind is weak, you'll go in there with second thoughts. But you going in there already know
I
that you're gonna. Yeah.
I will come out. I will come out on the top. Whether how long it takes me or whatever it takes me to win, I know that the fact that I will win, so I will be comfortable. Plus, I have my coach my coaches in the corner, you know, motivating me, like, you know, you got this, you know, you put in all this hard work and stuff. They are not on your level and stuff like that. So that kind of calms me and build my confidence even more to know that, you know what, I could win.
No, you're on a winning streak. You fight 121, you're going up to 135. Now, normally when you see, very rare in, let's say, boxing, you see a replacement coming on at a late stage and winning a title. I can't recall ever hearing that, like, you think. But tell me about this cup championship that you won, this belt.
This belt is basically this is not into my weight division where I normally fight at, but you know what? That's 125. I normally fought at 125. That's why I fight at 125. And well, I just stepped up the plate, you know, 135. I always wanted that 135 fight. I've been telling my coach, you know what? I want to try my hand at the 135, and he's like, you know, you're small, you're stuff like that. Wait until, you know, you get a little more experience and thing, and then, you know what, you could try it. If it do come and it come down to a chance that you're not getting a fight, you know what, you could take it and stuff. I've put in the work, I have the skill enough. I believe I could accomplish anything. I could take on anybody, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I don't want to get too confident because, you know, and well, being able to fight for this title belt, fighting a different weight category was a big accomplishment to me. a really, really big accomplishment to me. I felt really good. The guys in that division is like monsters, but you know, with all the training I put in, all the hard work, the sweat, the blood, you know, I come out on top, I got my title, and I am satisfied with this right now.
In that fight, when did you? I know you're going to the fight with confidence, right? But during the fight, what part of the fight did you realize, hey, I have him?
Um,
You must have made a mistake or show you opening or a little
okay,
something.
to be honest, but while I was fighting, to me, I didn't really see any openings. The only thing that I could have saw was, you know what? If I can't take this guy out like how I does normally win, here what? I would win by scoring points. I would win by huh?
Or you just win normally by a knockout?
You could win by knockout, you could win by TKO, you could win by submissions. There are so many ways you could win in this sport. But my whole mindset about how I was gonna win the fight, my typical way is ground and pound, that's TKO. But I noticed the guy was probably a little strong. It has to kind of a little control him on the ground and things. So I say, you know what? Let me beat this guy by winning points. You know, scoring little points. You know, takedowns, control and stuff. And that would have take me to the decision. I would have win the fight. To me, the way how I win by the knockout, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't even seeing it. It just happened. All of a sudden, it just happened. Right hand here. A straight cross, but it just everything just happened. It just happened at the moment, and you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm grateful to come out of it with the win, whether it's knockout or whatever it is. Yeah. So whether it's knockout or whatever is the case, I still come out to the top. At the end, I still come out on top, and I got what I came for.
What are you? Well, I know at the end of the year, you know, is here. You know, you're gonna enjoy Christmas. So you're gonna look for no fight right now, but 2018 and beyond, what are you looking forward to for the new year?
Looking to further my record a little more, and I want to challenge a certain individual for the longest while. That's what from since I started, I've been telling my coaches, you know, I want to fight this guy. You know, he fights at my weight class, 125. I want to fight this guy, and for no reason it is happening. I want to challenge. I don't know his first name. All I know him as Gersham. He trains with Real Sport Promotion. I want to fight him. I really want to get a chance to fight him because for the longest while, the state is setting up for me to be able to fight him, and it's just not happening. So I don't know what is the cause of that. But
so who afraid who?
I don't know who afraid who, but I calling you out. I want to fight you. I challenging you. Let me come on now. Come on, let me go and do this thing now, man.
Jeffrey. Let's talk a bit about you. Before mixed martial arts, what was your involvement in what?
Well, I was really involved more in football. I was like a real small goal specialist. I used to put my on the field. I was really into that football.
And how the switch came about?
Well, MMA is something that, like the last time I was here, I said I always wanted to do it when I was small, and like I didn't get the opportunity, you know. Money and wise to transport, to go places, to go out, you know, meet new people, meet the right people, like Sensei, you know, to get the experience, to fight and stuff, and yeah, just end up God guide me to the right person this time.
Give me a little history of your career so far since you started up.
In MMA?
Yeah.
Well, my first fight, I'll take you back kind of to my first fight with leading up. Well, I started training. In about 6 months, I get the fight. Yeah, and that fight was a tough fight because it's only last minute. They tell me who I was really fighting, and it's like a truck versus a car. And I is the car, and the guy is the truck because he's so big.
For now or local?
It was a local, yeah, local. So they want me to fight this big guy now. So that is how I got my name, Giant Slayer. Yeah, so we end up going on fight, and I win the fight. I mean, it went right down. I win him in a Renniken choke or submission, yeah, and I win the fight, and that is how that start of the Giant Slayer part. And then I end up versus a Canadian fella.
That's for this belt?
No, that's not for this belt. An ex-Rasta Canadian. He messaged me the other day and told me he heard I get the belt, and you know, I don't know if you want to do something.
You're telling me I don't beat you already?
Well, yeah, I didn't pull those at a small talk, but anyway. And then after that, I beat him by decision, and then I had a fight the other day in Rough and Tough. I was against a Tobagonian, but that was kind of a waste of time, something. But and then it had this fight, which would lead up to the champion. So it's 4 wins.
Yeah, tell me about this. Who you fought a foreigner?
No, I fought a local guy from Marabella.
Mm.
Carbon is the name, but you think he could have just come and run me over, and it didn't work out for him because I finished the fight in the first round with one of my special submission in a minute and like 30 seconds. Yeah, and so I have the belt. Who wanted compete to be the best? Yeah, to be the best.
Kerry, now, you listen and you talk to these guys and think you realize how passionate they are for this sport. Yeah. Right? And, people will say mixed martial arts, as you said earlier, is a violent sport. You understand? But let's look at it this way. People will see them guys fighting with violence. But they could have been doing this violence outside for the wrong reason.
Correct.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now they have it in a controlled environment. Yes. Right? Now, I will take this opportunity and talk to the people who might not fully understand martial arts. Because like boxing, they say boxing is a brutal sport, right? But boxing has rules and regulations that people follow, right? Mixed martial arts has the same stigma.
Same thing.
Right? Tell us about some of the rules and the do's and the don'ts and why it is that people should not recognize mixed martial arts as all this violent sport.
Well, mixed martial arts and the whole Trinidad and Tobago, it is a violent sport. You have to be very aggressive to compete in this sport. But that aggression is focused in the cage, in the ring. When we train, there's a certain level of aggression that we use because we don't want any injuries. So first things first, I can tell you this. Training in mixed martial arts is not going to open you up for any additional injuries. The environment is totally controlled by the instructor or instructors that are on site while the students or clients are being trained. So there are control measures in place. It's just like any sport. You can go out on the football field and pull a hamstring injury. I've seen guys got some nasty broken legs in football. I've never seen it happen on any amount of occasion in MMA. Mm-hmm. I've seen guys suffer head injuries in football. I've even seen a head injury in tennis. So it happens where a guy is running a clay pitch and he slipped and he fell and he hit his head and there was a concussion. Mm-hmm. I saw that. So in any sport there would be, but we always try to limit how it may take place, or if the incident of a injury taking place, we try to minimize that. Mm-hmm. And MMA, yes, people may see it as something violent, but at the end of the day, guys, this is a properly well-controlled sport. Mm-hmm. These guys train in a controlled environment and they compete in a controlled environment. The referees are so trained that they are able to distinguish when major injuries are about to take place, where most of them take place if a submission is being attempted. Mm-hmm. And a submission is like if you put the guy in an arm lock or a leg lock or even a neck lock, where you can be choking out the individual or going to snap their arms or any joint. All right? The referee is there to see that hyperextension taking place of a joint before popping it. So let's just say we have a guy, he's fighting so hard. Okay. He was caught.
I need to stop you for a minute because we need to take a break. Hold your thought, we'll be right back.
Put a pin in it.
Viewers, we'll be right back after the short break. Remember, this is ScoreBoard here on ACTN and we're talking mixed martial arts. We'll be right back.
Now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, and roll back that tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
All the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy.
Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9. Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to Scoreboard here on ACTN. Before the break, I was talking to Sensei Grant about sensitizing the viewing public about the safety measures and the rules and guidelines and all the things that associate with mixed martial arts, because of the view many that mixed martial arts is a violent sport. Can we continue?
Yes, well, as I was saying, the referees, you know, they are very well trained. And if they see an injury about to take place, they are there to stop the fight immediately. Sometimes the person that has been caught in that submission, they would disagree with the referee at the end of the day and say, listen, I didn't tap out. But if the referee sees that the joint, especially at the amateur level, we don't want these guys getting injured at the amateur level. They still have their jobs to go back to. Remember, it's amateur, they're not being paid for this. So we are very sympathetic to that fact, and we know that these guys have daily lives to continue. They're not being paid. So we're going to look out for the athlete. And we're going to stop the fight when necessary, when we believe that their injury is about to take place. And knockout and TKOs, it's kind of basically out of our hands at that point in time. I mean, if a guy throws a shot, it happens. This is the sport. You know, you get caught, you're going to get knocked out. You get caught on the ground with the ground and pounds. If you're not defending yourself properly, you're going to get caught with the ground and pound. And the referee, again, is there. He's not going to wait for the guy to go limp and you see him knocked out. He's going to stop it after about 3 or 4 strikes to the head and you realize you're not properly defending it. He's going to stop the fight.
Similar in boxing.
Similar to boxing. So we are there, the referees are there to protect the fighters, and the coaches are there to protect their students while they train. So it's a very controlled environment. And again, none of my fighters, none of my students have ever gone outside and gotten themselves in problems outside. And even the little ones, because we have young ones as well, Trinidad and Tobago. We have 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 6-year-olds. You know, my son, he's 6 years old and he goes to primary school. And I have never once had a complaint from the teachers, you know, that he is involved in any wild play or horse play or trying out his skills. Because he knows he cannot do that, and it's the same thing. It's the way how they are led. It's how you bring up your house. And these guys know they train with me. It's discipline in and outside of the dojo. We don't make joke with that. So at the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago, I am here. Mixed martial arts is here not just about teaching people to fight, but it's also here to improve the life skills of these individuals that train. And this is what I stand for.
What about the gloves that they use?
Yes.
How padded it is in comparison to the
boxing gloves?
Yeah.
In training, we would use the Muay Thai gloves or the boxing gloves in training for strike training. Reason being, yes, as you rightfully, the gloves that we wear in MMA, it's not that padded. Reason being, we also incorporate a lot of different styles like the grappling. So you need your fingers to be free to grab. If it's too padded, your fingers wouldn't be able to move properly in the glove. And that can cause injury. Because the glove is not that padded, it could cause injury to both the fighter and his opponent. That's right. So if it is you don't know how to properly throw a proper punch, in those gloves you shouldn't train with it too much, especially for striking. You can break your hand. You know what I mean? And if you punch someone else, they're gonna feel the full brunt of that punch. You know, and you can even cut them as well. So we that is only for any cage. It's only for the fight when it's happening. So in terms of how safe the glove is, I would still say it's relatively safe because again, the referees are on spot to stop if they see any onslaught of damage being delivered. You know, the glove is practical, it's safe, and I have no issues with the MMA gloves. Muay Thai is for Muay Thai. You have the Muay Thai gloves for Muay Thai, boxing for boxing, and we have MMA gloves for MMA. It's the sport.
When you look at the amount of violence that's happening in the schools today with both girls and boys constantly fighting, would we see your organization trying to get involved in the schools to bring this sort of...
A brilliant question, George. Brilliant question. I have tried on many occasions to get into schools where we actually did for almost a year running. I think this was back in 2015, if I'm correct. We were going to many different schools throughout Trinidad. We were doing seminars, and I don't want to call it demonstration, it was seminars, where we were actually speaking to the students, talking to them, trying to encourage them to be a little bit better, to behave themselves. And also showing them that this is also an alternative if you have stress issues, anger management issues, and so forth. And you all could come to Southern Warriors. We're right here in South. We are right here based in Marabella, and you guys can come down and train. And we have links with people on certain levels that can counsel these young men and women. So we have a very nice program set up at the Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts, where my guys have an assortment of different things they can tap into that can assist in life skill building, and life skill success opportunities. And I did a proposal to the Ministry of Sport and to the Ministry of Education back then, showing them how we can integrate it into the school system and assist with what's happening. Nothing to date. I also went to the Ministry of Legal Affairs, sending them where we can set up a program for kids that are suspended from schools. Instead of just sending them home to the environment in which they came, where this all started in the first place. Send them to us for that 8 hours, and we could run a nice little boot camp for them. Not just a boot camp to physically challenge them, but to reboot their minds and the way they think, and to encourage these younger men and women. Nothing to date, George, unfortunately. But we will continue pressing forward, because that is what the Southern Warriors are about. We are about building lives positively, building communities positively, and building the individual. And we're going to continue doing the work.
But from where you sit, you are 100% certain that a program like this in the schools
I'm 100% certain that a program like this can assist, especially if you have the right person at the helm, the right person leading that program. Of course, George, it will assist. My students, they are in line. My sons are in line. People around me know the kind of man that what I stand for. Once you have the right person at the helm, the right person leading this, these kids will fall in line. You can imagine me in Pleasantville Junior Sec or any of these other schools with a program like this and these children out of line. It wouldn't happen, George. It wouldn't happen. And I tell these people this, I tell children this all the time, and I tell parents this: get back to stern parenting, get back to tough love. And they don't believe everything now, George, unfortunately. It's abuse. If you raise your voice at a child, that's abuse. It's foolishness, and I will sit here on national television and say so. Because now I am seeing where 6- and 7-year-olds are cursing their parents out there. I witnessed it myself in Massey Store, where a young girl was cussing up her mother, in the aisles, because the mother refused to buy a certain brand of cereal for this child. But, oh gosh, stop it now. Behave now, George. You and I come from an era where, these things could never exist. And we have allowed a lot of foreign cultures to infiltrate the essence of who we are as Trinbagonians. And I believe that is one of the major crises that affects us today. And it is why youths of Trinidad and Tobago are in disarray.
Let's talk a bit about support. So when I say support in the sense of, I know you all travel a lot.
Yes.
Right? We know, well, there's so much of issues with no money from the ministry, the sports company in a mess. How do you all manage to make do with sometimes nothing at all to facilitate your trips?
Love and support from the community. Love and support from the community, George. They see the good work that we do. And there are a lot of small businesses within Marabella and San Fernando that have recognized the work that the Southern Warriors have been doing, and they contribute to help getting these guys where they need to be when it's necessary. And we have to thank these people. I can't call all the names now, but we have to really thank these guys. And so again, if you all are looking at the program, all of you that know that you all have supported the Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. you know, and these guys step up to the plate and they assist these young men and young women where the ministry should be. You know, they see the work. It's not like if we are fly-by-night club, something in a back alley. They see what these youngsters have been doing, what they have been accomplishing, and yet still it's a task for us to get funding. We were supposed to get funding a few years ago to go to a tournament in the Bahamas, and they told us, they promised us. I even got the email where, you know, the funding was approved, and when I went the morning to collect the check, they said it was retracted. You know, it broke these guys' hearts. They were training for so long, for about five months to compete in this tournament, which would have definitely put them on the map, because there were UFC scouts at this tournament. UFC scouts, George. And last minute, 2 days before going to collect the voucher to buy the airfare, the tickets to get these guys over to the Bahamas, it was retracted. So we couldn't go again. You know, things like that. We need to fix this. It needs to be fixed. And it's not just for MMA. You see it across the board with sport in Trinidad and Tobago, where these athletes, we have athletes that are there that deserve the funding but just can't access the funding. Why? Why is this Trinidad and Tobago? Why is this Minister of Sport? And I will sit here and I will challenge you guys to fix it, because we have what it takes to make Trinidad and Tobago great in the arena of sport within the world, but yet still we have issues that are plaguing Ministry of Sport, plaguing the government, that trickles down to the guys, trickle down to the men, the hard-working youngsters of Trinidad and Tobago, and they get nothing. And at the end of the day, they go to their families, their parents, they take loans to get them to some of these more prestigious tournaments. And when they come home with the winnings, we have ministers sitting and patting their back and posing with them on television, on any papers, and saying, good job well done, as if they were funded by them. That needs to stop. And I will sit here and I will challenge you all and tell you, it is foolishness. Be real, step to the plate and assist these young men, assist the young men and women of Trinidad and Tobago that work really hard, work diligently. If you don't believe they deserve the funding, do background checks, see what they have achieved, see where they've come from, and give it to those that rightfully deserve it.
Okay. You know they're dismantling the boxing board right now.
Yes.
And they're going to replace the boxing board with combat sports.
Yes.
Right? Are you in favor of that? And do you see that benefiting all parties?
I have mixed feelings about it. Definitely a commission is needed. I would definitely say it's warranted. Combat sport, yes. For the boxing part of it, I am not into the boxing fraternity, so I don't want to comment on something that I'm not, you know, accustomed to, right? So I can speak for combat sport, of which we are familiar with. It's needed. It's warranted. The controls again must be put in place, implemented to control certain aspects of the sport. Also to control the promoting of the sport, to make sure everything is done legally and fairly and transparently across the board. And also to make sure just due is given to the athletes that deserve it. You know, so I believe it is for the good, but again, we don't want, let's see how it works. You know, let's see how it works. It's something new that they're looking to implement and bring to stream. I have no problem with it. I would not criticize it because we haven't seen how it's working yet. So until we see how it's working, then we could move forward and make more comments about it.
All right. We just have a couple minutes before we take another break to bring on the other guys. I want to talk to you all now to find out, how has mixed martial arts impacted on your life? How has it made you a better person in what area? How?
Well, mixed martial arts impact on my life. It kind of impact the discipline area where, you know, you could just sit down and focus and just think about stuff, you know, because you just have more time for yourself. Yeah, other than that.
It helped me, it calmed me, it settled me, it made me opened my eyes and made me get serious about actually, you know, you could say going towards something in life and trying to achieve it and stuff. So it have a big role in my life, in my part, I should say. I ain't know about anybody else, but it really helped me. I'm more focused now, you know, I'm more pushing towards something that I want, and yeah, what, if it having challenges and I'm just gonna give up, I'm gonna just keep moving towards it, no matter what.
You must have a goal that you're aiming for. What's your goal?
One of my goals is basically like I have so many goals, and actually achieving this was one of it, right? I want to see myself in a big league, like really in a big league, no matter where it is, what organization it is. That's where I want to go. That's how far I want to reach in this.
Jeffrey?
My goal was really just to fight, but well, when I started fight, I straight away I wanted a belt, and when I achieve a belt now, but it's not the golden belt, but I feel I might get there someday. I feel my goal is to achieve the golden belt.
Very quickly, in this sport with these guys here, are there avenues where they can turn pro and go abroad and
Yes,
any one of these guys that you see are in line for that right
definitely so. Kadeen, definitely. He and his brother, who isn't here today, his twin brother, he's also on a 5-win streak. He unfortunately is working, couldn't be here today. These guys are definitely in line for turning pro, and very soon. My policy at my dojo, you give me 8 amateur MMA fights, and you're gonna turn pro after that. Because I believe within that 8-fight span, you develop the necessary experience to carry it over into pro fighting. And you know, you see some guys coming out within 1 or 2 fights and they turn in pro and it just ain't working out for them because they don't have the experience in the cage. You know, and I have a proper management plan, I have a proper plan in place, and it works. We have Sion and Ha that did very well as an amateur. Now he's fighting pro and he's doing extremely well as a pro. So, you know, these things are there in place to make these guys better. And just to tighten up on what they said about the changes that MMA have done to life, I personally have seen both fighters, Kadeen, really calm down. You know, he's really matured as a young man. I told him that just recently. I really like this. I love how he is today. The guy he is today to when he first came into the dojo, he was always laughy, smiley. To me, he was on kicks all the time and I used to pull him up on it. Today, he's very composed, he's responsible, and I love the part that he has taken for himself. Jeffrey had a little chip on his shoulder, totally calmed down. Now he listens more. You know, it was a little hard to give him advice at the end. You could see the fella, he a strong fella, he can't tell me nothing, you know, but now he's very coachable. And so you see the changes that are being made, and I thank God every day for blessing me with this skill, with this talent that I can now impact on the lives of these young men and women in a positive manner.
Well, I guess we have to take another break at this point in time, and when we return, we're going to bring on, well, let's say the 3 newcomers or younger guys who represent this organization. So we're going to take a short break. Remember, this is ScoreBoard here on ACTN, and we are talking mixed martial arts. We'll be right back after the short break.
You're now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, and roll back the tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
You know, all the time we played together, I've always been the decoy.
Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua De Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately,
Hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh. What's that? Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to ScoreBoard here on ACTN. And let me make a correction. Before the break, I said I'm introducing 3 newcomers. Actually, it's not. It's 2 newcomers and a seasoned campaigner. But let me go straight to the newcomers first. We have Kirsten Charles, a new member of the organization, relatively new, and I think he had his first fight recently, which we will hear all about. Welcome, Kirsten, to ACTN. And Ayodel Vialva, another newcomer, welcome to ACTN. And we have the seasoned campaigner, a guy who has fought many battles, and now he is maybe still, you know, taking part, but is the chief instructor at the organization, Sion Adha. But let me start with the newcomers first. Charles, MMA. A lot of us, have issues with MMA. It's a rugged sport. It's violence. It all the names you want to call it. It's there. How did you get involved in the sport, and what's it like for you inside that cage?
Well, I thought long and hard about it. From watching movies and stuff, I always like the fighting styles, and I wanted to really get involved, but I kept on thinking and thinking really hard because it's a dangerous sport and it's a risk.
Yeah.
And I like this sport a lot too.
Yeah. But your parents, they had any fear, anything?
My mom, for one, surely.
Yeah.
Surely she was scared, but she still supported me anyway. That's.
Well, how long have you been actively involved in before your first fight? How long have you been, in training?
A year.
A year.
And well, I got an injury, like 2 injuries, and I had to rest for a little while. So then I came back out in August around there, and I kept on training.
And that is just a couple months before you first entered. What was it like getting into that cage for your first major competition?
Well, before getting into the cage, there was a little butterfly. I was a little nervous, to be honest. First fight, I don't know really what I'm going to expect, but before I entered that cage, I let go of all of that, and I just went out there and did my best, and I came out victorious first round, and I was glad.
What are you looking forward to now? Now that you have tasted the real thing, no more training, you tasted, a real fight, your victory. What are you looking forward now for in your career as a mixed martial artist?
Well, I'm looking to go back out there again, stronger, better, because there's a lot to MMA, and I have a lot to learn still, and I know this for sure. So I will go as far as it takes me.
Now, you heard from the other guys before, about how the sport has changed their lives and what it has, helped them to accomplish. As a young person, with the amount of different things that you hear on a daily basis about young people, how has this sport assisted you in the sense of making you a better person?
Well, in every sport, there's discipline. And there's discipline to different levels, I believe. And this sport really got me to like behave myself. I ain't going to take my skill to go out there to look for any sort of trouble, to showboat or anything like that. But it really made an impact on me because I, for one, there's a lot that's behind my mind. Sometimes in training, I just zone out. And since it's be like, you have to focus, I just zone out. I just be out of it sometimes, but this sport really got to me and I really got to like it. My first time in the cage, I felt really great. I felt like a champion already, but I know I have a lot to learn still. I have a lot to learn.
Let me switch to Idol. Tell me about you getting into I mean, that baby face you are there. I mean, you in a sport where it's a rugged sport. You sure you were still dreaming, or you reached to the point where you're a sleeping tiger waiting to be awakened?
Well, everybody else always tell me that, but I used to be, I still in judo. Yeah, I started with that, and I started to like that, started to love that. Then after, I started to a sensei, David Springer. He told me it about someone who teaches grappling, MMA, and everything. So I said, alright, I want to know what was that. So I went and trained with Sensei Kerry Grant, and started grappling and everything, going tournaments, winning and everything. Then after, Sensei Kerry Grant come with me all the time, just asked me if I wanted to be in an MMA match. So, yeah, okay. And I say, because my mind said, I ain't know no kind of boxing, no kind of nothing. So I don't know how you gonna carry me say, that's okay, but yeah, I would think.
So you're being somebody who was actually involved in in judo, one of your greatest weapons in the mixed martial arts supposed to be, in the sense of, not grappling, but
throws. Yeah.
Right? So I guess you would have come into mixed martial arts with a slight advantage. Is that one of your main or major weapon that we could say that you use in the mixed martial arts now?
Yes, a lot. So I use my judo to take a person on the ground and how I strong enough on the ground, use them to control them on the ground too, because that's what I know.
And what weight you fight in?
145.
Okay. You're looking very small to be 145. Yeah. But what about your major your concerns from your family getting into a sport like this?
Well, they was jumpy because they know boxing and thing, head concussions and people coughing out blood and everything. First they didn't want this, they was thinking hard about it. But after since they come and tell them everything, how the sport is and everything, then I have to say, give my chance. They were so frightened it wasn't coming my first fight, but they say nah, they can't miss out a big deal like that.
So that medal you hold in your hand there, that's your major accomplishment so far.
One of it.
Okay. What others have you?
My biggest accomplishment I find was going judo nationals and coming out first. And not because I come out first, because I beat a national person who went abroad already now. And he went to national and everything, and I beat that person. And that was one of my biggest accomplishments.
Okay. Sian, you still fighting?
Yeah, I'm still fighting.
Wait, in the Masters or? Now, since becoming the chief instructor, I guess that will kind of take away from some of your training time. Although, I mean, as the instructor, you can still go in there and battle with them. Yeah, I think since the last time we spoke to now, give me a little history about what has happened to you so far.
Well, the last time we talked, I fought right after that I fought a guy from Canada. I didn't come out with the win, unfortunately, but you're gonna use that, some people when they lose a fight that discourage them, they stop fighting, they just forget about it. But for me, I just use a loss to just fuel me to come back better and stronger. So next year you're gonna see me. You're gonna see me a lot actually. I'm looking to do big things next year. I kinda just sat back a little bit to kinda reinvigorate myself, reinvent myself and come back stronger. And so that's why I decided to coach these guys alongside Sensei Kerry Grant and be the head instructor. I run through all the drills and stuff with these guys, and like you were saying before, we're taking the time. I just be on the mat with them 24, so it come like I training too. So Yeah.
But what's it like for you as one of the older guys at the dojo to be able now to give back or teach the younger ones that are coming in now?
Really and truly, it is a very amazing feeling to give back. Everything Sensei Kerry Grant has taught me, everything I've learned all these years coming up, is a really, really great feeling, amazing feeling to just, and especially Sensei Kerry used to always be telling me, when I now started training, he used to always say, when he see guys put together the techniques that he taught them, and it is make him feel good. I just get the same feeling now when I see guys applying the techniques that he taught me and I teach them. It's an amazing feeling.
As a person who in the sport longer than these two guys, I mean, when you look at them now, what future do you see for them in the sport?
Well, I see a bright future for a lot of the fighters from Southern Warriors. These guys come out there, guys, Kadeen, Jeffrey, and a lot of the other fighters, they come out and they put in a lot of hard work. Especially Kadeen. Kadeen has been with me since he started. Kadeen used to be like my shadow. He said he used to be like a shadow right behind me all the time asking questions, want to know this, want to know that, and it felt really good when he won the title. I mean, I felt very proud of him. He's come a long way since he started, and Yeah.
Do you think mixed martial arts is looked down as just a normal sport in the sense of do you think it's recognized as a growing sport? Because abroad it's a growing sport.
Yes,
but do you see it here, as just a normal sport with not much growth or anything like that in it?
Well, compared to when I now started, it has grown a lot. I mean, because when I started doing this, it just rarely had any outlet to display our skills and stuff like that. So now we have Cuff, we are Rough and Tough. I mean, Cuff was around a long time, but it used to be like once a year. Now they have it more regular.
I think it's 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So I think it growing a little bit. Probably not as fast as but I think it's growing.
But what would you like to see? What would you like to see in this sport? Over the next 2 or 3 years, in what areas improvement? What would you like to see happen in the sport of mixed martial arts?
Well, really and truly, I like to see the sport, like you say. Yes, it's growing, but to me, it could grow a little faster. And due to funding and stuff like that, it just keep back a lot of progress to me, because sometimes, like Sensei Grant was saying earlier, you have an important tournament to go to, but you're lacking funds. You have to get a plane ticket, So I think if the government could kind of, get itself involved a little more, it could actually help us reach a longer way.
What is the biggest event or competition that there is in mixed martial arts that you all could say we are training towards or geared towards?
Well, me personally, I think the biggest stage of them all is UFC, and that's the pinnacle there. That's the place to be. That's where all the best fighters around the world is being there, the UFC.
How far off do you see yourself from that?
Well, I know to myself, I have a long, challenging road ahead of me. Nothing comes easy in life. You have to work hard, very hard for anything you want. So I know I already made up my mind that this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna go all out, go hard or go home.
Keston, any closing comments? Anything you would like to share with us?
Sensei Grant. So I would take the pleasure now to do that because I was really pushed, and not pushed to, but it was a really great experience working with them. And I'll continue to work with them.
Okay.
No matter what. Yeah. And I want to thank them for the training, for Sensei's loud mouth shouting. I know when I did something wrong, when I got off my stance, I would know it before he could even say boo. So
So
I just expected it, and I just laugh it off.
Yeah.
I got accustomed to the shouting.
What about you, Adela?
Same thing. I want to thank all dude, everyone, because I learn you always pick up something from training. Always pick up something from someone. I want to thank Sensei once again for this opportunity, because without him, I could have never stepped in the cage. I want to thank Sion for giving up every single thing I thought.
Okay. Well, viewers, we have come to the end of another edition of ScoreBoard here on ACTN. We were talking mixed martial arts, and we had members of the Southern Warriors of Mixed Martial Arts headed by Sensei Kerry Grant. We want to take this opportunity to thank them very much for being part of the show tonight. And we look forward to greater things from this organization in 2018. And as you heard Sensei Grant mention, I mean, if there are people outside there, especially from the ministries, I mean, there is a need for a program in our schools to address the violence. And I think that mixed martial arts alongside boxing could, in fact, all sports, if addressed properly, but more so in the sense of violence, I think the mixed martial arts and the boxing is a good avenue. So to the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Sports, and all who might be, have that, whatever it is, to open the door for this, I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, let's try it. If it don't work, stop it. But I mean, let's try it. Viewers, we want to thank you again. We want to thank Kadeem Hope, Jeffrey Rangel, and the entire Southern Warriors organization. Those who are not even here, we want to thank the entire organization for keeping the sport alive, for assisting the young people in an avenue to keep them away from any sort of trouble. So again, thank you very much. If you missed any part of this program, there's a repeat on tomorrow at 1 p.m. Also, a gentle reminder, please, those of you who missed the event yesterday at the Manoranjan Stadium, the North-South All-Star event, you can witness the match tonight at 9:30, full of excitement. So stay tuned. There is always something good and positive to be viewed on ACTN. So tell your friends, tell your family, keep it locked on ACTN right here. Have a blessed week ahead. See you next week at 8 p.m.